Hey everyone, in this video we are going to give you an overview of how to change your configuration on the Thrustmaster AVA modular base. This flight stick base is compatible with all types of aviation, and it makes it easy to change and customize the different settings to match your personal preference. Today we're going to show you how to change the configuration, and we're going to give you a couple of examples, but keep in mind that you are always free to further tweak the settings yourself afterwards to make sure that they perfectly match your own gameplay style. So let's have a look at the different elements that you're going to receive when you open your box. So there are two alternate sizes of masks which control the distance that the stick can travel. First, there's the M for medium and the S for small. The extra large size XL mask is installed on the base by default. You are going to get two Allen keys. There's a small 2mm and a larger 2.5mm, which we'll be mostly using today. There is a pair of soft springs, which is going to give you the least amount of tension. A second pair of medium tension springs. There is a pair of cams that are marked aero, and those are designed mostly for civilian flight sim. Pre-installed inside the base, you're going to find a pair of hard tension springs and a pair of jet cams, which are designed for the quick, sharp movements, mostly associated with combat sim. And lastly, of course, there's a detachable USB-C cable. Overall, the major difference between the Warthog base and the AVA base is that AVA can be customized not only according to your own personal preferences, but also between games or even between missions for the type of aircraft that you're flying. That could be a small civilian aircraft, a huge commercial airliner, different types of fighter jets, spaceships, or even helicopters. You can customize different elements inside the base, or you can even adjust it on the fly. And this differs from the Warthog, which isn't adjustable and it only has one configuration. AVA is a huge step up from the Warthog base, and it introduces us to the future of the Thrustmaster Pro flight stick ecosystem. The initial configuration on AVA when you open your product is that there's going to be an XL mask installed with jet cams and strong springs. As an example of how to customize your AVA, we're going to replace them with aero cams and medium springs to loosen the resistance. Okay, let's go. Start the stopwatch. Changing configurations is simple. It's fast, and it's something that everybody can do. So first, we're going to take this larger Allen key, and we're going to remove the 4 screws on the top cover. The smaller Allen key will only be used to change the size of the masks from the cover. Next, we remove the cover. In a counterclockwise direction, we loosen the screw that holds the cam on the first axis. Next, we're going to use this screw to loosen the spring. This reduces the tension on the cam so that it can be removed more easily. Next, we finish unscrewing the cam screw so that we can remove it. And that way, we can remove the jet cam. We're going to take one of our aero cams, and we're going to put it in place of the one that we remove. Make sure to insert the cam properly and check that the whole base is fully straight before replacing the screw. We retighten the screw with a 2.5mm Allen key, but this time in a clockwise direction. Next, we're going to change the spring using the medium one, and we're going to retighten it into place. So you loosen the spring hook as much as necessary, but notice that we're going to keep the screw in place. You do not need to remove it completely. Okay, we're moving on to changing the second spring and the second cam, which are on the AVA base's second axis. We're going to repeat exactly the same steps as we did before. So we start by slightly loosening the cam, again counterclockwise. We again loosen the spring so that the cam isn't under as much tension. We remove the jet cam completely. And same as the first one, we're going to put the aero cam in its place. Remember, this is just an example. You can continue tweaking it until you find the perfect configuration for your own gameplay style. Okay, we're going to remove the spring next. Oh, okay. It's always easier to do this when you don't have to point it towards the camera. So learn from my mistake, watch what you're doing, and make sure that the cams are straight on their support axes and that the stick base is pointed straight up before you try to replace the cam's retaining screw. Okay, so we're back on track. We're going to tighten it. And now the aero cam is secure in place. So to change the spring, same as the first one, we loosen the tensioning screw even more without removing it. And we insert the medium spring on this side as well. And lastly, we retighten it via the tension screw on top. So at this point, all of the interior work is done and we can replace the upper shell. Okay, we do that same thing with all 4 screws. Okay, so with the customization work done, we can remove the white protective sticker and you can attach a Thrustmaster stick. Here we're going to use the Viper grip. So to complete the configuration, you can adjust the tension of the springs on the fly. And by doing so, you can set your resistance preferences for the stick. Remember, righty-tighty for more resistance, lefty-loosey for less resistance. So stop the timer. Okay, got it under 5.5. Okay, so we've just shown you how you can change your configurations on the AVA Base in about 5.5 minutes. So we didn't show you here, but remember you can also change the mask around the stick to increase or decrease the amount of stick travel. As we said up top, the AVA Base is the future of the Thrustmaster Pro flight stick ecosystem, and it's going to continue evolving over time. So stay up to date with our news. New accessories are going to be added very, very soon. That includes new grips, extensions, dampers, and even additional cams and springs. So now it's up to you. Do your own tests, personalize the configuration that works best for you and matches your flying style and the planes that you love to pilot.